Live from the R&R studios in the good old friendly city, it's the Boys from the Wheel podcast.
What is going on, guys? Welcome into the R&R studios for another edition of Boys from the Wheel podcast. Where's Jordan?
Well, Jordan.
Hey, what's up?
You good? You need life alert? You good? You falling? You couldn't get up?
I was looking for something.
Make sure you hit your life alert button next time. That way we know.
Pocket. I couldn't find it.
You just wear it around your neck, bro.
Oh God, what a start! It never ceases to amaze me. Anyway, how we feeling, boys? How we doing?
I'm doing all right. I don't know about y'all.
Chris, it's nice to get you in the studio when you're not busy, calling Nailers games and everything else and doing 50,000 other sports things. So it's nice to have you in the studio.
Yeah, it's good to be home.
Yep.
Good to be home, boys.
No, don't adjust your screens. That does say John and Chris. John is currently snapping.
John's a pussy.
Hey, I think you still have me on mute. There we go.
Huh?
I was on mute there for a minute.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just that camera. We went through this last time.
I can't hear Chris.
Are you serious? Okay. Don't do that to me. We did this last episode.
Oh, my bad.
You're good. So, heck of a show today. Actually, a fun show. And when I asked this individual about coming on, he was like, wait a minute. You want to interview me? I'm so used to interviewing everybody else. So, this is somebody that I've worked hand in hand with in the past year. We've done Through the Wire, we've done Inside the Walls, and somebody that matches. Everybody talks about how passionate I am about the arena game, but this gentleman matches my energy when it comes to it. So I have to give him his own intro. He is the arena chief, so he gets his own intro. And he's gone. There he is. Oh, no, he brings the belt in. There it is.
I'm gone.
You have to make that intro.
With that intro, I have to bring it. Of course, it's a beautiful day here by West Bank Arena. No snow in the arena.
Lie.
That picture was taken in June.
I was just down there today. It looks a lot different.
Catch me bathing behind there, so you're good. Yeah, let me put down the championship.
And that little.
Oh my God, that was great. I wish you'd have told me you were gonna do that, but that's great that you didn't.
Well, I could have got the other belt, but I didn't want to open my case and at risk of breaking shit. So
Yeah, well, that happens.
I decided to get
sometimes.
the one that's if it breaks, oh well, I'd go buy a new one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Super
Yeah.
Zoom.
Well, it normally when we have the amount of.
There we go.
Nope. Oh, technical difficulties. Anyway, we'll just leave it here.
Jim, will you show Rookie here how
don't even do it. Don't you do it.
Rookie, I'm stealing his ideas on my side of things.
Yeah. So let me paint the stage for you here real quick. So we get on the show last night and I redid Through the Wire stuff like a couple weeks ago, and I get on and I'm like, wait a minute, this layout looks very familiar. I'm like, damn it, Jim.
Fake news.
Yeah. Ass.
You got to start cooperating shit there, or whatever.
The thing is, what's funny about it is that right when I took it from him, I basically like, yeah. Well, we went on with like a 2-minute rant about how people are stealing our shit from all our shows, and then I literally copied and pasted his graphic and used it for Inside the Wall.
So that's how
Jeff,
things go around. Yeah.
Jeff, that was big. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. Off is the direction that you can fuck, is what he said.
Who are you, peasant?
Pushed you.
But let's get right into it, Jim. The people that don't know, who you are and what you do, you've created Inside the Walls Network, which has multiple arena shows in it. I'm actually part of that great network, which is awesome. How did it come about, and how much of it have you seen change throughout the years that you've had it?
Well, first off, it started with a Inside the Walls podcast. This is the original one. That's what started off. Me and my buddy Zach Kyleman at that time, we did it. Had a couple episodes. It's like, it's a niche sport. No one's going to listen to these shows. And our first episode, we had over 300 downloads on just like Spotify. And it was like, oh, this has a audience. Like, we was, oh, let's continue. And we went for a year. Then my former co-host went separate ways, and I had to go find me a new partner. Matt Patton joined, and we continued it. And Inside the Walls Network didn't really get to his birth. I was like, I'm going to just stay with Inside the Walls, just do it by a podcast. And I got an idea from one of the ownership groups in the NAL. So what about this? That's like, I think there's a chance there's something like that. But I was like, really not going to do it until I got text messages and Facebook comments from the so-called freaking reporters, the dudes that interview live in front of fucking malls and think they're reporters in this industry, saying that, DMing me. It's like, the only reason why you're creating this is to cope because you can't get a job in the AFL. There's a reason why I didn't take the job in the AFL. And you guys had to change your name to be existing right now. Yeah. I made the right decision. The reason why I created Inside the Walls is trying to formulate a culture of this industry where people can go to a area where they can go to IFL, NAL shows. And there's a reason why I don't do certain shows for that other league that changed their name from the AFL last year. There's too many people in our sport, and Jeff knows this for I guarantee Chris does too, because he worked in Carolina, he works for Willing, he works in the minor league levels. Is Facebook creators do two things. They're either super fans and trying to push the word out there, or they just want to find any little rumor and go spread it like wildfire, think it's going to be no collateral damage. In this level of the sport, these teams are financially cannot support backlash if it becomes a wildfire of information. Like, we see teams every single year fold because someone spewed some news, leaked out, and the team can never recover. This is not the NHL. This is not the NFL. This is not college football. It's not Major League Sports where they can afford losing $5 million. It doesn't change. It doesn't shock them. An organization like Willing, an organization like Jacksonville or Carolina, they lose $100,000, and red flags are everywhere. Like, you hurt the bottom dollar in minor league sports, and it's going to hurt the program. The reason why I created Inside the Walls Network is I wanted people to come watch content, be entertained, have fun doing it, and get a chance to get these organizations to the forefront. And I'm to this day, I'm very grateful and honored to have Willing a part of it. Sioux City's now a part of it. The Carolina Cobras are a part of it. The Jacksonville Sharks are a part of it. The San Antonio Gunslingers are a part of it. These are teams that trust me to use their content for a good way. And my goal is just to spread the game itself, but spread it the right way, like how ESPN and Fox does with news. They push the content to promote these leagues, but they also report stuff that needs to be reported, and they don't push rumors like a lot of stuff happens on Facebook. Problem is in this sport, the one that me and Jeff cover, the people who run Facebook pages can run with something and spread it, and it's like a cancerous wildfire everywhere. And that's the reason why I created it because the haters said it was going to fail because I was coping that I didn't get into the AFL. Right now, haters, get all the lawsuits now. Not me, but your homeboy commissioner that ripped you off for millions of dollars last year. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show.
This is definitely something Jim and I talked about last night. He was like, "Okay, so I have no restrictions. I can say what I want." And I said, "Yeah, floor's yours, buddy."
Yep.
So, So we have multiple shows on the network with teams that are affiliated with the network. How does that come about? Does that come about you going to them and saying, "Hey, I think this market would work out for a show," or does the ownership and coaches come to you and say, "Hey, we want to do a show because we see the success of everybody else"?
First off, it starts with relationships. You can't start talking with these organizations without a relationship already built in. The reason why Willing worked is because me and Coach Rez had a pass when he coached in Carolina a few years ago, and that worked. And I have good relationship with the organization here in Jacksonville, and it starts off with an idea, and then an organization will put their brand behind it. One thing that I see in this industry, that the reason why a lot of teams are they're selective, or they're very conservative on their movement in the social media realm of things, the video realm of things, because they don't trust who's presenting the content. And again, Carolina, that was basically the organization said, "Hey, we like what you're doing with Willing. We like what you're doing with Jacksonville. We want to put that on your network as well." And that was an easy negotiation. And I have a lot of connections in Carolina, and for me, I want that Carolina to be successful, and to get them an opportunity to get more content out there, to get more tickets, because more content gets more eyes, and more eyes means more tickets, and more tickets means more money for an organization. So that's how it started, and I get people all messages all the time. How much money you make? You must be making a lot of money. I'm going to tell you, people, if you're trying to get in the indoor community with podcasts and think you're going to make it, you ain't going to make shit.
No, I mean, you're right. 100% correct.
You will have organizations like Willing, like Jacksonville, like Carolina, like Omaha, that are going to, incentivize me, like going to their city, or bringing me up for a game or so. And I take that as like, gratitude for the work. I don't ask for it. They just give it to me. And that's what I do. I'm not in this business to make money. My goal as Inside the Walls Network is to get the athletes that we cover an opportunity to get more spotlight so they can play in a higher level of football. Canadian, USFL, XFL, wherever the hell they want to be called this year. And then, of course, the National Football League.
All right, so this is going to be the fun part of it. We get to ask you questions now.
Okay.
Because you always be asking people. So guess what? You get multiple questions your way. So, Chris, go ahead and shoot.
Jim, I was so excited with this when Jeff told me that you were coming on, and I respect everything that you do. And every time that I listen to one of these shows, no matter who it is, it's just like I'm ready for Arena, and that's why a few seasons ago that I drove 5.5 hours to work with an Arena football team, because I love this game. It's a beautiful freaking game. These athletes are phenomenal. And me coming from a small college, I love seeing these small college athletes that are being successful in Arena football, whatever it is. If it's the NAL, the IFL, we have Lowell Patron right now that's up with the Green Bay Blizzard. He played his college ball right here in Wheeling. Of course, all the guys that we have with the minors. So, I just want to start with that. Just thank you so much for everything that you're doing and keeping everybody informed. But I mean, I got to ask, man, like where do you find the time to be able to do this, and the organization to get all these teams together? I mean, that's just phenomenal.
It didn't happen overnight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I figured that much.
there wasn't an easy button.
I figured that.
Again, it's relationship building. The especially for Jacksonville, I've known this ownership group for years. I've been a season ticket holder for Sharks all the way since 2000 and 2010, since the team debuted in the AFL. And I've always been good relationship with the coach, and the ownership there in Jacksonville always wanted me to do a show, always. But I just never really wanted to put forth it. Willing was recent, not really. Well, it's recent because in the NAL, but Coach Rez, a few years back, he was pretty much the first one to reach out to me and ask me to get players on the show. But the organization to get this is, I got to thank the people who are around me. Jeff gets through the wire on lock before I have to do anything. Same time, Coach Rez is telling me this is what we're going to talk about. This is what time we're going to air. And here's the thing: we usually never talk about what we're talking about, and we never air on time. That's why it's a tradition like no other for Through the Wire. We say we're 9:00, and it's like 9:15ish that before we air. Carolina is more like I have more hands-on with that right now until we bring on another individual that's going to host a show. I'll be doing a lot of producing for Carolina. And Omaha, that's Matt's stuff. Matt does everything. So only thing I do is inside the Sharks and inside the walls, actually planning out. Jeff does willing, and he does a great job with the graphics, even though I may kind of steal stuff here and there. But there is also a graphic that I'm debuting that would be exclusively for inside the walls and possibly the NAL. We're doing something unique with the standings, so it looks pretty interesting that you won't see any other indoor league do. So if people do try to screen caption it, they're going to be pissed why they can't get certain logos on the same time. It's a perfect strategy, but it's honestly with planning, you need a team around you, and that's when I got to thank Jeff, Matt Patton, Bob Book, and the guys at Sioux City. That's another group I just joined as well. Without them, the network won't last. And honestly, Chris, I just got to say this. You only go as far as your team. You might be the quarterback, but if you don't have a freaking offensive line, you ain't doing shit.
Right. Yeah. And and that's the other thing. And it really pisses me off when some people are like, oh, it's not real football. And I'm like, you know what? Stand in front of a MAC linebacker fucking sprinting at you and tell me it's not real fucking football. I mean, let's just call a spade here. It's real football. It's physical. And this is what I always told Jeff. I'm not the biggest NFL fan, and a lot of people know that, but I will travel further to go watch an arena game before watching an NFL and a college game. I mean, fuck, during COVID, I drove up to Jersey and saw the flight. Now, granted, had some guys that I knew on Orlando and guys that I knew in Jersey, but I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going, I'm going to watch this game because it's so beautiful. So what is the message that we can get out there to these people that I'm just going to call a spade here, that are uneducated and think that it's not football? What is the message? How can we continue to grow this beautiful arena game?
It's image first. The problem with this industry is the image is always damaged because you have egotistic people who think they can run a league, present it to be some big product, then shit on it. And then it damages the league and it damages the reputation of the sport. You saw that with this outdoor spring football with the XFL. When COVID hit, it crashed, and people was like, "Oh, spring football won't happen." And yes, they both merged, the XFL and USFL, because they lost a lot of money, and it's pretty difficult. But for arena football, you need to find an organization and management group all the way up to the top, to the commissioner and to the ownership groups, and they all have to have the same mindset. If you have too many egos in the room, you ain't going to do anything. You're going to start butting heads, pointing finger at each other, and something's going to fail. But to get the product out to the fans, and one thing Jeff can agree with me, you might agree with me this, Chris, is this: if you're not in the community, no one will know you're there.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, yeah. That is one thing that both my experience with the Cobras and my experience with the Miners, like, they were everywhere. I mean, I would go down there, and on a Friday night, the players are meeting here, and even us as a staff, we went out to a breakfast with the fans the day before the game. And yeah, that's what I could say. Like I said, I've only been a part of both of those organizations, but I mean, I can tell you what, very community focused.
You have to be one with the community. Jacksonville, they're doing community events every single week. And
hell yeah.
and Coach Rez I bash him. I said, dude, you have too many things on your docket, but he loves doing it, and he's always out in the community, in the organization. And there, Duffy, I don't know how Duffy does either, seeing that he's from Jacksonville and owns the team up there. That's a lot of travel, but that's just Duffy giving Coach Rez all the responsibility. And that's one thing I noticed about this league, and not just the NAL, but the IFL and other leagues, is if you don't have a community presence, you're not going to be successful, because the bottom dollar it's not like the NFL or any major league sports where they have a TV deal that supports them and thus other teams, because there's revenue sharing between organizations that keep them up. In the indoor game, you just can't call your local team and say, "Hey, can I borrow 50 grand?" Because that team may not have 50 grand. They may not even have 50 grand in ticket sales to start off. And it's not aggravating, but I see a lot of teams get established throughout either league, and you see their social media or their websites go silent for months. I'm like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be selling. You have to sell constantly, 100% of the time. You can't take a day off besides holidays. You can't sleep. You can't just like, hey, we got an arena football team. Okay, Come to, like, you got to be out in public,
Right.
sell the tickets. You just say, hey, we got an arena. Here's a football team. No one's going to come. You have to earn people's trust. And in Willing, from what I've heard, is that the Willing fan base was so hurt by the Rough Riders, they didn't trust the Miners right off the bat. There's like, oh, this is just another team in Willing. We're not going to trust. And then Coach Rez had to build that trust all last year to now. And now people know that the Miners are Willing's team, and people know about them. There's organizations that they're still currently in their city, and no one knows that they exist. And it's sad about our sport, but it's community first. You got to hit the community. And a lot of these ownership groups and a lot of these teams, they don't do anything for 6 months out of the year, and that's a bad thing about it.
Muth?
So last year you came up for the championship game, the festivities and everything, and that kind of kicked off the whole NAL game day. How did that get started with, and how are you going about with that for the upcoming season?
How it started? Well, I have to talk about this dude again. It's Coach Rez. Basically, Coach Rez is like, we're going to fly you up here. You're going to put you in the hotel room, and we want you to do a pregame show. And I was like, okay, cool. So I asked Jeff, say, hey, Jeff, want to do the pregame show? He's like, sure. And then right then and there, it started. And I was like, what happens with it is cool. We actually escalate this to actual, like a game day atmosphere outside the arena. Couple hours before kickoff, get fans together, do things like they do on College Game Day or on Fox noon kickoff. And that's that. And Coach Rez and Duffy and the organization, and even the commissioner of the NAL, Walking Horse, and a couple of owners were like College Game Day. It's like, yeah, I think it's the best way to present it, to get fans more interactive, and make people realize that it's football. We're treating it professionalism like it's football. Like it's College Game Day, because these players who are on these fields deserve it. Grant Russell deserves it. You go any league that you go here, like Jacksonville, Caleb Barker deserves it. You have great athletes who need either extra film or extra time in front of a camera to get interviewed, because you don't know if that image or this broadcast or that interview is going to reach a scout somewhere or a coach somewhere in another league. And the reason why Game Day was formed is because, damn it, I'm addicted to this dang sport. Jeff can agree with me on this. And the sport needs better. Why present the game like it's fucking college football? Like, present like College Game Day. Get interviews, get players, get special guests, do some crazy antics, throw Jeff in the Ohio River, this fun stuff.
I'm down for that.
Have Jeff interview anybody that's over 6 foot tall. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was good.
Who was it that you had to interview that was like 6'6" or something like that? It was
Joe Brown.
Yes, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
That camera angle was awesome. I'm not saying Jeff Short. I'm just saying Jared Brown is extremely tall.
Yeah.
Did he have to ask how the weather was up there?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I felt like with Kane today when I did CJ Kane's interview. Like, that is a big human.
He's secretly tall. He doesn't look tall in the field.
No.
You walk up to him, you're like, Jesus. No,
he's a big human. And that's what Joel Zellum was standing there. And Joel's a big guy too.
Yeah.
And he looked at him and he went, people say I'm big. He goes, you're just huge. He was like, I don't even know what to say.
I played defensive line here at Jacksonville in high school, and I was like, I'm going to be D1 football as a D lineman at 5'11", 265 in high school. I was like, I'm going to be a D lineman. And my coach is like, you're not big enough to be a D line in D1. It's like, I'm going to live my dream, until I actually went up against a D1 offensive lineman here in Jacksonville who was 6'2", 310. And my coach is like, that's D1. I was like, fuck that shit.
Nope.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I ain't dealing with that. Maybe there was a couple of concussions later. It's like, well, maybe football is not my thing. So, problem is, I don't play the game, but I can't leave the game.
True. Move to get another one, or is that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just had a quick. So with the expansion of the NAL compared to what it was last year, do you see it really growing to potentially as big as the IFL one day down the road?
Are you trying to bait me into giving you inside information? Or are you trying to
You can take it out
And-
you want.
every league wants to grow. Problem is in this day and age of the sport, leagues think they need to start off with a certain number. We've seen leagues start with 16 and end up finishing with 5. We've seen leagues that start with 24 and end up not even completing the season. But NAL is at 10. This is the most teams that we're going to have to kick off the season in 2025. The what do you want to say? The Goldilocks zone of teams that the NAL wants to get to, from what I'm thinking from multiple sources, if they can get to 16, that'd be good. But if there's 20 teams that can be good. But one thing I know what the NAL is doing this time compared with this new owner or governing body and commissioner, solid ownership groups. They're looking for legit ownership groups. They don't care if they have 10. They don't care if they have 8 teams, 10 teams, 24 teams, or 32 teams. They're focused on ownership group. We don't want to put an organization in a city that has a crappy ownership group that disappears half the year and then come back and, schedule gets released or something happens or halfway through a season. We got to redo everything because the ownership group, didn't have trust. For me personally, I want a 16-team league so we can have 8-team playoffs, 4 on each side. I think that's the perfect spot, but you got to get 6 teams to get there. For the IFL, they realized their mistakes about 5 years ago and how to scout organizations. And I think the NAL right now is following that similar path. They know what markets are good. Like, I even get people asking, what would be a great market to put a team in? And I go, Savannah. Why is there not a team in Savannah right now? Like, I'll put a team in Fort Wayne. Why are you not putting a team in Fort Wayne?
Toledo.
Toledo.
Toledo. They're doing Jersey nights for the Bullfrogs.
The old AFU team?
Yeah, that never happened. They're doing Jersey nights for it, and the scoreboard
back from an organization that never really kicked off.
Yeah, and the scoreboard is still not there in the center. That's why they didn't get it, because they were going to an AF2 team. It's still not there. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. But I look at this. If I took Commissioner Walking Horse's job for an hour.
That's about all we would take it for, because I ain't taking it more than that.
I'll go, okay, I'm giving a phone call to 6 arenas around the United States. I'm giving a phone call to Toledo, Fort Wayne, Savannah for the east side. And you need to get teams out west to help out Colorado and Idaho. And when I look at west, it's like, well, California is a very hard state to get into. But Nevada, you could put a team in. Don't go to Vegas and compete with the Nighthawks and think you're going to compete with the limelight that is Las Vegas. Go to Reno. Go find their arenas. Go establish there. And think about Texas. You may get some help to Amarillo, to a Beaumont. Put a team at probably like El Paso, Lubbock, or other areas.
Oklahoma City, I think, would be another good one.
Yeah, that was a good market.
The Yard Dogs, I love that team.
Yeah.
Problem is with Yard Dogs, like I mentioned before, they were not in the community. People in Oklahoma City had no idea they existed.
Right. Yeah.
And also, when you look at these teams, you got to look at the venues. And I know there's a lot of arena football fans that love this sport to death, but stop dreaming about the Garden, Boston Garden. What is the PPG Arena in Pittsburgh? Is that the new name? These arenas change.
Yeah, PPG. Yeah.
Don't think of the NBA arenas and the NHL arenas. Think of, Willing, Jacksonville, smaller venues that you got to realize teams spend money to get in these. And a lot of these teams getting the fields in, they're like 6 to 10 to 15K to just put the field down. Think of smaller venues and think of markets that actually be successful. Like Toledo, the Wale, I think they sell out every home game.
Pretty much.
How about the Cincinnati? That's another city that they sell out their hockey games all the time.
Yeah.
Kalamazoo's another one, but that's where Western Michigan's at, and that's another topic for another day.
They're in Muskingum.
I was going to say they're in Muskingum.
They're in Muskingum.
Well, that's northeast. That's about, 20 minutes outside?
Yeah, but their roof in there is about as high as my roof in here.
Yeah. Yeah, Cincinnati used to sell out, but their team is kind of dog shit right now. So
You're talking about the roof. You got to realize the NAL put a team in New York called the New York Streets.
Yeah, true. That played 45 yards?
39.
Damn. Yeah.
That's awful.
But I know I agree 100% with some of these smaller markets. Like,
Mhm.
and you know, you have to get some of the minor league sports teams that are around, like whether it's baseball or hockey. You know, you need them to play nice. I mean, I think Reading, Pennsylvania is another good one. But the problem is, you have the Reading Fighting Phils and you have the Royals. The Fighting Phils don't want to work with the Royal. You know, there's this. It's like, all right, guys. In case you haven't noticed, you hit a baseball in the middle of summer on a field. We're playing on fucking ice. We're not the same. Let's
Yeah.
fucking help each other out. You know.
Here's the thing that I've heard: the Jacksonville Sharks work well with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. The Jumbo Shrimp are a baseball team.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Sharks are an indoor football team. The Jacksonville Icemen don't work with either team,
Really.
and they're hockey. Well, because
Yeah.
they think they're up there and they think their shit don't stink. They're a good organization. It's
I
just
never
that
knew that.
they think that they think they own the building. But people don't realize the Sharks and the Icemen, they both put in 8,000
See, I'm
fans a
glad
game.
you put that perception to bed because we always thought because they both draw so well in that building, the Sharks and the Icemen, that they work together.
I never
work
knew that.
together. They work together in the facility,
Okay.
but it's not. It's like how a perfect example. I know this is going to be a non-example. It's how can I not? I'm not going to try and trash this city, but I'm kind of trashing the city at the same time. It's like what happened in Oregon last year in the AFL. That team in the AFL,
The Black Bears?
the Black Bears, or the whatchamacallits, or let's play inside of a horse's ranch. They had a good working relationship with the actual hockey team in the actual hockey arena down the street. But the arena didn't trust that organization. The problem is with like what Chris mentions, it's all ego. Like you think it is a city that you're all Willing, you're all Jacksonville, you're all Carolina or Greensboro. They all work together. They're all separate businesses. They work for their own survival. And one thing I can't stand about this of all sports is if there's a major league team in the city, they control everything. They control the narrative. Like in Pittsburgh, it's always the Steelers. It's Steelers, and I think was it the Penguins, then the Pirates, in that order of supremacy in Pittsburgh.
University of Pittsburgh, and then the Pirate, or 50 piles of shit, and then the Pirates.
I think Duquesne.
I forgot about Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Might as well throw Point Park in there too.
Minus Paul Skeens. Minus Paul Skeens.
Plum
Yeah,
High
yeah.
School.
Yeah, you're,
High school.
yeah, you're a legend. But Jim, I'm actually glad you brought that up because when I was director of sales with the Nailers, we worked really well with the Washington Wild Things minor league team. And oh, by the way, we worked well with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates helped us out. We helped them out. I mean, like I said, I know I just kind of shit on them there, no pun intended. But yeah, we actually helped each other out.
I think it's more ego. It's like both teams in the vineyard, like, oh, I can do this. I can do this.
Right.
It's a pissing contest.
Yep.
Right.
And I think is like if a certain attendant's been in the building for so long, they go like, well, I ain't going to help you. You got to learn to stretch. And the other team comes in, goes, well, let's work together. And the team that's been there is like, no, I ain't helping you. Like you got to go through the trials and tribulations because we didn't have no one to help us when we were here. Like that, you see that in all the sports, just all the minor league sports. And where you see it more often is in even the SPHL type of level, and in that new lacrosse league that's starting, that's lower than the actual National Lacrosse League, is they all fight each other. And the reason why a lot of these minor league teams don't succeed is because they already have built up frustration with the teams that are in the cities that they're already in,
Right.
and it's not the fault of their own. It's not even fabricated. It's just egos.
Right.
No matter what league and organization. And I know the Sharks and the Icemen, they do have a good working relationship because they're in the same building, but it just seems like they don't really like work together because you can see a lot of promotions. You see Sharks logos and Jumbo Shrimp with logos and the Jaguars logos, but the Icemen are never connected to those photos. But you see other promotions with Icemen, Jumbo Shrimp, and Jaguars without the Sharks. I'm like, is it? Also, it can also be the arena side of things too. Maybe the arena is the one that's actually doing that, or the events who I think is AMG or SMG who does the ASM, who's the governing partner in one of those companies.
I think you're right.
I think they're the ones that are actually creating that push. But well, you know, Chris, you were in Carolina, now you're working in Wheeling. There's something with working with other organizations in the city, and it's more like someone's either their ego is like, no, we don't want to help you. Like they don't want you to like feel like you're grabbing onto them on their success to lift you up. But it's a business, man. Everything's about money this day and age. Period.
Right.
If you hurt the bottom dollar, they're not going to help you.
Right.
Sean?
Well, Jim, I want to. I kind of want to dig into.
I say we
like,
finally
what
got back around there.
I kind of want to work into your like your day to day, your week to week. You know,
Mhm.
like what you're doing leading up to, one of your shows. It doesn't, it's no show in particular, but just kind of like what you do to prepare for a show.
Do you want to know what I do to actually make money before I actually do the stuff? I do
Yeah.
work. I do work for the city of Jacksonville. That's my real job. That actually pays the bills.
Those damn bills.
Yeah. Only if we didn't have bills, it would be a very successful life.
Would be great.
But honestly, preparation for a show starts a week prior, depending on who. Because we already got a guest lined up. I think Matt has a guest lined up for Thursday, which he already has previous connections. One thing I've noticed about podcasting and doing these shows is it cannot be a spur of the moment type of deal. If you do something spur of the moment, you're going to have a crappy product. You're going to miss on so many things, either actual facts, pronunciation of players' names, which I still fuck up. Same as everyone fucks up. You look at a name, you go, DeQuesney? And you put a question mark.
Yeah.
Only reason why I said that's a running joke in my household. My dad's like, "Oh, look, we're playing DeQuesny." I'm like, "Who?" Yeah, they come to Florida State. I'm like, "You mispronounced that wrong." He goes, "No, it's not. So that's how I pronounce it." Like, bullshit. And then we go put the Google search, and it says, "I'm like, I got what the fuck?" I was wrong. So it's a little red joke in my house. But preparation, Sean, is you got to do a week beforehand. And in this industry, there's a lot of news that breaks like suddenly, and you have to adjust if it's in that time period. And of course, you're dealing with professional athletes in the indoor game where they may commit to an interview, and then 24 to 48 hours before they actually answer, they will back out because of probably scheduling, practice, or probably they're no longer with the organization. But it starts with like a week out scheduling. Then you want to see what you want to do. If you want to do highlights, you want to do reels, you want to do graphics, or is this going to be just straight up 3-picture, 3-camera and start talking to each other like we're doing here? It's the preparation begins a week in advance. If you start 2 days before, you might be in trouble. You start the day of, you're royally flubbed. So. But preparation is just like day-to-day operations when you're outside for actual meeting people in the industry. Like I guarantee you, Chris, when he's getting ready for Wheeling games, doesn't just, oh, well, I got 4 hours before show. It's time to, put all my notes together. No, he should have his notes together at least 3 days in advance, unless he's that good and he's like, man, I'm gonna just put that thing on the freaking desk because I'm that damn good.
Well, Jim, if I can interject there real quick, let's just say last season, I was very prepared for the minors, but the fact that Jeff and I were getting rosters maybe 20 minutes before the game from the visitors, I was not very well prepared. Now, I will give credit to some team, like the Michigan Avengers, Coach Dinkins, him and I had a 2-hour conversation over the phone. I pretty much knew everything about their team.
Mm-hmm.
So, big shout out to him, big thank you there. But some of these rosters, yeah, we weren't even getting until 20 minutes before the game. So that's why I was complete dog shit toward the other team. But I tell you what, Jeff can attest to this. I mean, I had like a full page fucking media guide on the minors and was ready to roll. So just had to throw that in there.
Well, just FYI, Chris, you won't have that issue this year.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
We've talked about it. We're very excited.
Well, there was one. I'm not wondering.
No, go ahead.
No, there was one team. I'm not going to mention the team, but when I was in Carolina, and I was doing their games. I didn't get their roster until 10 minutes before the game, and I said, you know what? If I fuck up these names, obviously I knew the good players, but
Yeah.
I'm like, if I fuck up the rest of these names, like I mean, I'm the freaking broadcaster. What am I gonna do? Oh, hey, here's their 25 fucking team roster. Watch out for the. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Like that irritated the shit out of me.
Like
But no.
what I hate is you get the roster name and there's a wrong number.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that. We had that a couple times last year.
Mhm.
Actually, it was actually ironic because it was the Avengers.
Yep.
And he like I said, no disrespect to Coach Dinkins, but yeah, this lady's like blowing me up. Was like, hey, this guy's this guy, and I'm like, well, I got the roster right in front of me. Sorry, but no, I'm definitely looking forward to that this year.
I know this is your show. I'm gonna do a
Your-
reversal.
Okay.
How about them YouTube comments during a live stream?
So we can't see them.
What?
Our
Lucky
set-
asses.
Our setup, we cannot see them. I wouldn't mind seeing them
You
because if somebody has questions or anything,
No, you don't.
but
You
we don't have them up. We don't see them.
That's a cesspool of carnage in there in
Yeah.
those chats.
Yeah.
Because you'll see, well, first off, you'll get, parents out there's like, I see my son, and then, they name the son, and you go 100. But you'll see random people spam the chat and are like, I'm trying to watch the game. I don't care. Oh, look, they're debating on what freaking restaurant is the best. And then they go like, and you see some person like, this is crap. AFL is the best league ever. Or the NFL is the best league. I'm like, what? I'm watching New Jersey and Willing here. Who gives a fuck about what's happening in another league?
Yeah. Well, I see. I pulled up the live stream and like the Miners was very, very positive.
It's very clean.
Because you guys had the best production.
Yeah, appreciate
that.
But yeah, it was. Now, I'll admit when I was with the Rough Riders, my first game was awful, and I fucking got ripped apart. I mean, like people were telling me to go kill myself, jump off a bridge. Like it was bad. But same thing. I literally did not have the rosters until 20 minutes before the game. So, I was by myself. I didn't even have a color commentator.
Oh, or I could say this: one of our loyal fans sent me a text. His last name is Seaman, saying that your podcast will fold faster than the league that you operate in.
Oh Jesus!
I was like, whoa, I'm on we're 170 episodes there, Jeff.
Yeah,
170, 171, somewhere in there.
And the league that I'm working for still hasn't folded yet.
Please tell me who hurt you to make this comment.
Yeah.
I'll just.
You said his last name was Seaman?
Yes.
He's got other problems to worry about. So.
Hopefully he doesn't work on the submarine.
Yeah.
But
Seaman.
A long black thing with a motor on the end of it.
But I think that's the biggest
Shawnee,
thing.
Hey, he said it. Shawnee knows about that.
But no, I think that's
we
the
had to
biggest
bring
thing.
up a whole other slate for that, bro.
Yeah, I get it. Jim, like I told Jeff that same thing, like him and I obviously had our issues in the first game, and there was some keyboard warrior on Facebook was like, you guys need to get new broadcasters or whatever. Shut the fuck up. Like it was our first fucking game, and yeah, things went wrong. It's gonna happen. And that's why I told Jeff, I said, look, don't even listen to the noise. I looked this dude up and he's like I don't know, like looked like he was probably still a virgin at 72 and
Holy fuck.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just
Chris,
like
you're falling off the deep end, bro.
all right, let me go back to this.
He's been out of the loop for a while, so
I told Jeff, I said, look, man, don't listen to the noise. People are gonna hate us, people are gonna love us. Just give the props to the people that love us. Don't listen to the noise and the hate. And I tell anybody that in this field, like you're gonna get noise and hate from either side, but you know what? You're the one bringing the product. You're the one that this organization picked. Just like you, man. Like I said, I'm ready to fucking go when I listen to you guys on these shows. I'm like, all right, can we just play an arena game tomorrow? The knowledge and everything that you guys bring, it is professional. It's a passion. I love it.
More than my father. He goes, I don't know how you do it, but you know more about arena football than the actual NFL.
Oh, 1,000%.
And I was like, yes, because I get tired of Al Michaels saying where the flag is after a 27-point comeback in the playoffs, which is the second biggest comeback in NFL history. I'm like, dude, get excited for the moment.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But with your case about, your first show, my first podcast on the Inside of the Wall, you don't want to see that intro. Jesus Christ. You want to go hit by a train? Get hit by a train, get off the train, get back on, and get hit by it again. That was it. Because we decided to do a script right and start off, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to Inside Walls podcast. It was how can I say this? Third world trash bad.
Damn.
It was god awful. Luckily, we didn't air that show. We stopped and re-recorded it, and it took a couple episodes, and then we finally got our groove. And now that we got the video presentation, of course, with the addition of Matt and Jeff, it seems like every time you tune in on one of our shows, it seems like it's well done, and we know what we're talking about. Kind of know what we're talking about.
No, you guys do. Trust me.
Matt with his cowbells all the time.
Always need
You're
more
talking about
cowbell.
cowbells. I'm like, Matt. I'm like, who are you talking to?
Speaking of other people on other shows,
Bob's gripe. Yeah. Sorry, Bob. I forgot to do it. I brought it on the show. Let me grab it again.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
You know why I take over shows? It's because I am the tribal chief. I got it.
Leave cowbell. I love this guy.
I had to play it again.
The cowbell. No, his cowbells is different than Matt's cowbells because Omaha does cowbells. Bob, we sit right next to each other in the Sharks game. He has a cowbell and he just bangs the cowbell, and I could tell how good we are as the Sharks are doing, basically based on his cowbell.
I love it.
If I'm hearing ringing in my ear 10 hours after the game, I know our defense was on the field long.
Nice.
If my ears are not ringing, we won. Last season, they were ringing a lot. We didn't have really a good year last year.
It happens.
Bob's my boy. Sometimes I think one day he's going to run down the field and water boy a referee out of nowhere. That ref's not going to see it. He's going to throw the flag and just get speared. I'm like, great. Or there goes the podcast connection with the Sharks. I'm going to get exported out. By
Coach Klein said I could.
Gibson's going to be like, what's the going on here? But yeah.
I love it.
He's a character. But you want to talk about a person that really loves the game, loves the players, is Bob. What he does for the players in the Jacksonville Sharks organization. He runs a fan group called the Jacksonville Sharks Superfans that helps these players, with any needs they need. And he really takes care of those dudes. He gets really close with these dudes. He's like a father figure to most of them, and actually a brother to a lot. I consider him a brother. Can't confirm it. You motherfucker, you'll do that shit. I'll be up in Willing on game day. It was like, get a text. Yeah, Bob got arrested. What do you do? He's a ref. 5-yard line.
That's funny.
But he's a good dude. A lot more people need to do what Bob does for their local organizations, and give these opportunities to these players. And some of these players need more, help, assets. And Bob's something that he dedicates, like myself, too much time to the indoor game, and we don't get considered for a lot of things. But homeboy, he you want to talk about a guy who gets his information? He sends me texts like, "Yo, you heard this?" I'm like, "Damn, how the fuck do you know that?" Like, I'm supposed to be low key. He knows it first. I'm like, I gotta get credit where credit's due. But he like I said earlier in the show, there, Chris, he does more of the inside the Sharks than I do. He gets the players. I get maybe the structure of the show, but he controls more of the overall show itself.
Awesome.
I'm a big Sharks fan. Homeboy is a Super Saiyan Shark fan. Like he's
Nice.
hardcore, and also he's a Pittsburgh Steeler, diehard
Oh,
Steeler fan,
okay.
diehard Penguin fan. He is from
Nice.
the Pittsburgh region, so I deal with a little bit of Willing here in Jacksonville with my boy Bob. So he is a hardcore Steelers fan. So
You're leaving one team out though.
I'm not gonna let you touch about the
Yeah, it is, baby. There it
I'm not
is.
going to rep this 2-10 crap.
Hey, but you guys are going to have a couple guys go in the draft this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You guys got some good guys in the portal. I might be a little, bitter about that.
What like
Some
draft
seventh
resume
rounders.
on some draft?
Yeah,
The only draft I see they're drafting is a resume.
I love it.
Who can go to the NFL from that team? Maybe
DJ.
Farmer.
Thomas, right? The defensive back.
Ukulele.
He's
DJ
nice.
or ukulele,
DJ.
whatever his name is.
Not
Pronounce
ukulele.
his name correctly. His name's DJ Uasalele.
I love it.
Might as well go play for the intramural team.
Right? You're really kidding. Sean, you got another question?
I had a kind of want to get your thoughts on this upcoming season. Like you have some inside tracks on all of these other teams.
Mhm.
I'm just like, this is going to be my second season with watching the minors. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, who should we be watching out for? Can the minors go far this year? That kind of thing.
I really can't. I don't. That's a hard question. There's really nothing going on. Everyone is like, well, really nothing. Should have zero problem. Oh no.
I agree, but
Of course, there's a team that's kind of connected with this podcast and one of the hosts here, connected with the coach, Coach Rez and CJ Kane, is the Carolina Cobras. That's something that's been building up. It was more of like a laugh both sides. Ha, this is football. Let's get and actually it's starting to brew into a rivalry. But when you look at the National Arena League, there are 6 teams to really focus on right now. There are 4 wild cards: the Shreveport Rubaroo, the Amarillo Dusters, the Beaumont Renegades, and the Idaho Horsemen are more of the wild cards in the sport. They have players, but you don't know what they can be to this season. But you look at their traditional powers, especially now we're in the division. Wellington, the Americans. So you're gonna have to focus on teams like Carolina and Columbus. But there's a home and home that Willing plays this year against Colorado. It's going to be a scary sweeping type of team. We get them early in week 1, but that going the road trip on I think week 10, it's going to be daunting for Willing. But if you look at for Colorado's sake, their schedule, we just went over their schedule last night on Inside the Walls. It's freaking brutal. Colorado, and I think they're going to be a solid team. So if you're a Willing fans and you're wondering who are the teams to watch to play the Willing Irons this year, of course Carolina, but let's just eliminate Carolina out of the picture. You got to focus on Columbus and you got to focus on Colorado. Those are the 2 I think teams that can give a chance to give Willing a challenge. And I'm just going to state facts about this league. This is not the AAL. It's going to be hard to go undefeated in this league, especially with organizations like Columbus, like Carolina, like Sioux City and Omaha. And the thing is, you play Sioux City here in Willing, which I think is going to be an electric atmosphere. It's going to be tough. There's some tough games. Now, there are some winnable games where you're looking at the halftime score. I'm like, well, this game's over. And there's going to be games where you're deep in the 4th quarter. You're like, man, we got to get a stop here. You're looking at the battle between possessions. And you're going to get that a lot, especially with the schedule for Willing against Colorado, Columbus, and Sioux City. So those are basically the teams to really focus on this year. But don't sleep on the wild cards of Beaumont and Shreveport. They right now, based on paper, they have pretty damn good rosters based on paper.
So we actually really be worried about Carolina, or is that just we talking shit?
Depends what you want.
I want to stir the. I like this. I like keep stirring the shit. So might as well.
As a person who operates both shows, I'm gonna have to keep it, professional here. It's going to be a gritty back and forth fight. Both teams are going to be good, but I look at it this way: it's a best of 3 series. Approach it as a best of 3 series, and somehow the Carolina Cobras got home field advantage. They got 2 of the 3. Honestly, how the thing shapes up. If I put my money into the bank right now, I take Carolina in 2 out of the 3. But I do not see a sweep either way. As of right now, things can change, of course, when we get into the season. You see where these teams are. But the benefit for the Willie Miners is that they play Carolina early. They get Carolina done before we reach halfway through the season, and you got the back half of the schedule where we got 3 straight home games to kind of get ready for that playoff push because you got the back-to-back doubleheader against the Columbus Lions at the end. But if it becomes a rivalry that we think it is, that thing is going to be established, those games will be more intense. They're going to be more fierce. A lot of headlines, lots of good things for media wise for me and Jeff and others who cover the sport to pile on. But honestly, it also could be a dud. It could be there may be not even a rivalry. One team, Carolina, might sweep Willing, or Willing might sweep Carolina. It's the thing about the sport is that me and Jeff are trying so hard to create rivalries in the NAL so we can get eyes on the product. But if Carolina is what we think it's going to be, it's a best of 3 series. And if I'm in Vegas, I set that over under win percentage at about 1.5, and I favor Willing in that 1.5 betting line right as of right now. It's because one key reason is the quarterbacks. Grant Russell versus Vincent Espinoza. If Grant Russell plays like he did last year, I'm taking Willing. And if Vincent Espinoza performs like he did when he played in Idaho last year, there might be a chance where Carolina may take 2 or 3, but it's going to be quarterback play. And I'll go with a guy who's a returning MVP who just won a championship here in Willing over a Vincent Espinoza who is still trying to find himself in the sport. He's talented, but he's not as good as Russell. And plus, I look at the line scrimmage, and I look at Willing's line scrimmage, and like right now, based on paper, they have the best line scrimmage game on both sides of the ball. And that's how I know it's indoor football, but damn it, if you can't win those 3 yards in the line scrimmage, you ain't going to win a lot of football games. So yeah, Carolina.
Nope.
All right. So we ask everybody this, and we know you've had involvement with Coach Rez for the last 1.5 years or so. What's the most wild thing? Well, I mean, like for us that we've seen. Mm-hmm. You may have been involved with him for a lot longer. What's the wildest Rez moment that you've seen or been involved with?
Almost punching Sam Castronova.
Well then,
Please elaborate.
There is a Sam Castronova, as you know, has became one of the top quarterbacks in the indoor game. Some people think he's the Patrick Mahomes of the indoor game. He had a hell of a season in the IFL last year. He's up in Albany now. Coach Rez found him in Carolina, and he was a rookie learning the game, and it was like 3rd and 13 on their 2-yard line, and they were trying to get a deep post route to, I think, either James Summers or Kendrick Ings, and Sam did not see it. So what he did, he got flustered like a rookie because the pocket collapsed. He got crazy, and then he pitched it, thinking he's going to pitch to ZB, the linebacker / fullback. And what he did is he pitched it right to the linebacker. And the linebacker was right there because the linebacker was about to tackle, and he pitched it right to him, and he just caught it into the end zone. And then you saw Coach Rez at the very end. You know how he gets like emotional. He was about to point at Sam, and Sam was like right there, and Sam turned, and you looked at Coach Rez. He's like, "You little." And right after that, you didn't see Sam play. It's just emotional how it was just like bang, bang, bang. That was like the craziest thing again. But also, Jeff can agree with me with this. If there's a ref that calls a bad play, Coach Rez is going to be right at that ref's face, no matter what level of the sport is. But that's one of the most funny things like oh my God moment. But he's frustrated. Sam had like 3 interceptions, and he threw it basically a softball throw touchdown to a linebacker already in the end zone. The guy didn't have to run; he just caught it. It was a touchdown for the defense. But one of my funniest thing is when the NAL a couple years ago went to Ironman rules and teams were trying to figure out the Ironman game. He burnt one of his players and had ZB do kickoffs.
Oh.
And he's a linebacker. Linebackers don't kick far. ZB's kick was a grand total of 2.5 yards. Like he kicked and it shanked to the right.
Hey, ZB just wanted to play the goal line defense.
I guess. I mean,
but based on the rules, I don't know how the rules happened. I still remember, Carolina got it because it was a 2-yarder, and because of how the rule said is they had to place the ball at the 5, so technically it was a 5-yard kick. So they couldn't put it where it was a stupid rule. That rule got removed right after that season. But yeah, Coach Rez has some moments, and we both know, all of us here know, Coach Rez is the type of guy is like, if he's going to talk his stuff, he doesn't hide behind a mic. He presents himself.
mm-hmm.
But also, he's one of the most humble motherfuckers I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you do work, he appreciates it, and he respects you, and he gives you the props. If you backstab him, he is one of the most ruthless SOBs in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is with like everybody in this sport. And that's one thing I have respect for Coach Rez. When he says stuff, there's a 99.9% that is highly accurate. The 0.1% is only because you don't want to give him the 100% guarantee. You got to make it look like he's right, but there could be a chance. But yeah, that's one thing. That's one of my outrageous moments about Coach Rez. He's had some moments. For you, Muth, is basically go watch the 2021 season. Sorry, we didn't play 2020 because apparently someone had the cough and it shut down everything.
I heard it was some bat did it. I don't know.
Whatever. I'm still pissed because FSU had the best basketball team that year, and they got
absolutely,
and they got the national title ripped away with them. Go watch the 2021 Carolina Cobra season. And each game, you will see an event by Coach Rez. Each and every one. And you can see the growth that he did in that season. Or you can go back to 2017 when he was with the Grizzlies, High Country. And you get to see how he presents himself. And you look at him there in Carolina and now Willing, you'll see two different things. You'll see Coach Rez and the involvement of the same character that you know him as now. He doesn't change wherever he goes. He's the same individual. The only thing, the reason why he gets more experience is that he knows how to piss off people different ways. That's how he develops his craft.
He's ruthless. That's what you're saying. He's ruthless.
Yes. And he's a high school coach too. And you know as well as I do, these high school kids are dumb as a rock. You got to be ruthless to get stuff in their heads. Trust me, we have people that, I have high school kids like, I want to be a podcaster. I'm like, go get an education and go look at another field because you're not going to be successful in this one. That's so bad. Facts. I'm just stating it.
Giving you a dose of reality.
Yeah, disappointment's going to be a part of your life, kid.
I got a communications degree from Florida State University. Good grades. I couldn't even get in the field. That's how competitive it was.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do after that? I worked on a freaking golf course with a communication degree.
Yeah, it pays the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bills back then were a little bit, and free golf. And let's just say the clientele in the golf cart that kept going by every few hours with the drinks wasn't bad to look at.
That's the point.
Pun intended.
But
yeah.
You're supposed to be mowing this green. No, what are you looking at? Why are you scalping the rough? You're 10 feet off the side of the ground. You're watching the car drive by.
Yeah, I'm just making sure they get the point.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, I'm just looking at asses. I mean, I'm just trying to coat this rough. That's all. While you're looking at them. Yeah.
I got one more. So I got one more thing, and I'm about to open up a huge can of worms.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So So you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, correct?
Oh
Unfortunately.
boy, here it comes.
I am a
Actually,
Tennessee Titans
unfortunately.
fan.
You're what?
I am a Tennessee.
You're a Titan fan.
How much of a fucking dumpster fire is the AFC South right now?
How much?
That was nice talking to you, Jim.
How much is a dumpster fire?
Oh, the fact that we fired our GM without the coach, and we had the number 1 overall pick.
How about firing a coach and still hold the cancer in the same locker room? That's what Jacksonville is doing. So, Tennessee Titan fan. Well, first off, go fuck yourself.
Whoa, hey, whoa, hey. Sorry.
It's a hater rivalry. 1999. Screw you. Still. To the,
Hey, Mark Brunell ain't got shit on us. That's what I'm saying.
but hey, I want to say this: Mark Brunell's about to have a ring that the Titans never had. Because he is a quarterback coach for Detroit right now.
Well, okay, that's true. That's very true. But
yes, the AFC South is trash. But the one thing about the AFC South being trash and how Jacksonville was so bad, I wish I had my broom here because we did sweep y'all, and that's the only thing that matters.
hey, that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. We're getting a new field. We got the number 1 pick. Our owner doesn't know what the fuck she's doing.
You're getting a new stadium. We're getting a new stadium. Before you know it, all the AFC South will be playing in the dome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does your dome have a ring of fire on top of it? Ours does.
No, our dome. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. Do anybody remember the TV
What is
series?
happening?
Do you guys remember the TV series or TV movie, Flight of the Navigator on Disney?
Mm-hmm.
You know the space of the spaceship.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Go look at the photo of that, and they'll go look at the Stadium of the Future in Jacksonville. It's fucking identical.
So they hired somebody from Disney, is what you're telling me.
Pretty much. You go look at the design, you go, son of a bitch, are you serious? Like,
Well, I mean, Vegas made the Death Star, so
Yeah,
That's
true that.
but that's a cool Death Star, though.
Yeah.
Hey, the Death Star is always going to be cool. Let's leave that be. Hey,
Yeah, I am a Star. If you want to get in the Star Wars
Vader's
talk,
a G. Vader's a G. That's all I'm saying.
I got one final question for you, Jim, and I say one final because this is probably going to be pretty lengthy. In the field that we work in arena football, indoor arena football, do you think there is a image and a world where the IFL and the NAL put their differences aside and all these other lower level ABC leagues quit playing daddy travel ball and come together for the greater the business?
that is an ultimate dream of mine because you have 10 organizations in the NAL, you have 16, are about to be 18 in the IFL because Sioux Falls and Duke City are getting back in the act. So you get 18 there, and I look at this. You merge 2 leagues together. You look at the traveling partners you have. No team will have, no one will be on an island. No one in the entire league. No, there'll be no one on the island. Massachusetts will have traveling partners with Wheeling. Jacksonville will have traveling partners with San Antonio. And that helps us with Nashville, not Nashville, but with Indy, getting that AFC South type of connection there. But just imagine an indoor league with 28 teams. You're talking about a postseason format that could have 12 teams, like in a legit NFL type of postseason. And also will help with travel with all these teams.
Mm-hmm.
They won't get there'll be a shitload more teams in the West Coast than there's in the East Coast, but
Yeah.
You see the connection between two. My ultimate goal, not my ultimate goal, my ultimate dream is 32 teams, one super league, and it'd be cool if some teams in a so-called renaming of the arena football wake the fuck up and actually spend money and go play in an actual legit league, and come back. So we actually have a 32 team league spanning over from coast to coast, where traveling's not an issue. You can get games in. You can still play games and get money. It'd be an awesome world. But the problem is, Jeff, is this sport has too many freaking egos. And
Yep.
when I mean too many freaking egos, it's literally like a pissing contest. And a lot of these organizations think their shit is big,
Yeah.
and it's not. But one thing I do know is that the NAL and the IFL have better working relations than those two leagues do with the other league. The other league doesn't like to work with anybody.
Yes.
They don't, and the NAL and IFL, at least they're not openly agreeing and working with each other to make something out. It's just that there is communication between both sides because they know the sport. Again, it's all ego driven. Everything's ego. There's organizations like when you tell me, if you ask me where the top 6 organizations in the sport right now, I'm going to tell you right now, all 6 of those organizations play in the NAL and the IFL, 0 in the AF1. And if you want me to mention those organizations, I can clearly say it. You got Jacksonville, Arizona, which are in the IFL, Omaha, Sioux City in the NAL. Willing's one of them because I can see the building blocks of Willing being a legit organization. They're in the NAL, and Columbus in the NAL. And he goes, well, Jim, there's like 20 more teams left in the IFL you miss. There are a lot of solid franchises in the IFL. Green Bay is one of them. Iowa's one of them. Sioux Falls is one of them, but then they got shafted by their arena. San Antonio is building a great staff. So there's more than 6. There's like 12 organizations, and I still think those 12 are better than any organization in the AF1. Because I look at when people say about the AF1, why you're not supporting the league, it's like it's the same league as last year, just a real change of logo with the same ownership groups owning it.
Yeah.
Like, how many times it's like, oh, I can do this better. Trust me, bro. And then the same shit happens again. And again. Wait a minute. And again. But me, I will want a 32 team league, but first for both leagues, IFL, NAL, and the AF1, the teams that you're in your leagues currently right now, finish with them.
Yeah.
Show consistency that you can start with 10 teams, finish with 10 teams, start with 16, finish with 16, start with 18, finish with 18, and build consistency. Until there's no consistency built, the opportunity of mass mergering between the leagues will just be a figment of imagination.
Well, not to go too deep into the woods, we should have had one with the CIF and the NAL, but that's
technically
another story.
Already did.
Yeah, but all those teams should have went over in the NAL also, but they went to greener pastures, which they thought.
Yeah. And 3 of those organizations are no longer around because
exactly
they thought they went to greener pastures and ended up having some issues. And one thing when I see all this, like I know I get a little, excited about this conversation. People even say, like, why am I openly hating the AF1? I don't hate the players who are in the AF1. I don't hate the sport arena football. I don't like who's running the league. It's the same people that cause the same issues all the time. And they think, oh, you're just a fan that knows anything. Well, you had to change your name because the other league folded because you shafted fans of money and thought, let's play in the mall and think everything's all good and gravy. You're a joke.
And had to buy the turf off another team just so they could somewhat survive.
Yeah, it's aggravating, and for a person that grew up in the old AFL days.
Yep.
Where the New York Dragons, the Cleveland Gladiators, the Columbus Destroyers, go even further back than that, the Buffalo Destroyers. And you go back to the early AF2 days with the Jacksonville Tomcats and Macon Knights, the Louisville Fire. Like, that was the heyday in AFL. That was run by people that knew about the sport. And then people thought, oh, it's fun to own a team. I want to own a team. Mm-hmm. Okay, when you want to own an organization, it's not a hobby. it becomes a full-time job,
Mhm.
no
You gotta know
matter
what the
what
fuck you're
level is
doing.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly, and you know very well because you cover both minors, the nailers and minors, and you know how hard it is, especially in willing, especially to get fans there. Period.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you're dealing with a 5,000 seat arena. And what? And excuse me.
Yeah, it's
I'm
about
saying
5.
I'm right outside. I forget. It's beautiful.
Just walk inside, go see.
Yeah. As
You
was
know,
my-
one thing too, you're a hell of a time traveler too, because that, I mean, I don't know how you got the old entrance out front, but I mean, that's awesome.
it's my car right there. I think
was
this
gonna say,
photo
The
is
car's from the
courtesy of.
90s.
Yeah.
I
this
think that's still
photo-
the fucking parking garage there.
It
Probably.
is.
It is. It's the
Yeah, it is
parking
parking.
garage on the side, but it's the old steps.
I think that was brought down before you guys were even born. Yes, I'm old. My daughter tells me every day.
Damn.
Yeah, she's not lying.
True.
I like you asked earlier about my passion of this sport, and I remember the heyday of it.
Yeah.
I remember,
100%.
Matt Bonner, Aaron Garcia, Joe Hillis, and the list goes on. Even Jay Gruden back in the day in Orlando. And the sport has become such
Clint
a
Dozel.
Dozel, raw the ball.
Guy that lived across the hall from me when I went to Marshall, Bernie Morris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He lived right across the hall from me at Marshall, and I was excited as hell when he
What,
got
Brandon
to
Morris?
Bernie Morris. Well, Bernard Morris. He
Bernard
played at
Morris.
Marshall. Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah,
always
he was
called
the-
him. Yeah, we
he's-
always called him Bernie.
He was the diamond in the rough that our coach here in Jackson said, "Oh, you're not going to be anything in the arena football," and it turns out to have like 3 or 4 successful years in Orlando,
Yeah. I was very happy for him.
and he beat us constantly here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I was gonna say no offense to Jacksonville, but yeah, seeing him.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, wait,
you know,
sorry, I'm in Willie. I'm not in Jacksonville. Right now.
yeah, like literally, going from sharing a beer with this guy to seeing him play, and that was freaking awesome.
And one thing, like my passion. Jeff knows my passion. I get really heated when people, say that I don't know things are happening in the industry. You can go to my personal Twitter account at j-904, and you'll see me tweet random things besides all my, sports teams. I have a video that basically is Dax, his new song is multi character. So why are you in pain? Is there's so much information that I know about certain teams in certain leagues. While they go on social media, act like everything's good and gravy. I can send one tweet, one post, one screenshot, and issues will happen. But I don't because I have too much passion for this sport. And I'm going you know what? Maybe they get things corrected. And then later I see that team fold for those issues. Like, what happened? Why did I sit on that information? I could have saved players' time to go to these organizations. The thing about this sport, and Jeff will agree with me with this, we dealt it with someone stealing his graphics and saying that the NAL posted it and didn't realize that, maybe it came from a show that was airing on the NAL's Twitter account. I don't know. There are reposters and there are reporters. Me and Jeff are literally insiders / reporters. We know what's going on. We report the stuff that we know, and we know what information to talk about, and we know what information not to talk about because we know what it can do to an organization. There are people on social media. We deal with them everywhere, no matter what sport you are. I guarantee there's Steeler fans that go on Steeler Facebook like, you need to get rid of this guy. Like, what? Stop.
Yeah.
You have those guys. But you actually, in the indoor game, these guys become reporters, or I like to call them reposters. And people follow their pages like they're actually insiders. And the only thing they're doing is if they hear a story or a narrative, they just get it and send it. They don't care about the repercussions of it because it doesn't hurt their brand. That's the reason why Jeff tells me stuff. I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah, let's not say anything until it's out before we talk about it. Because we rather have the information out and be correct and then go with a story about an organization and turn out it's a disgruntled player that didn't get what he wanted. So he decided to, burn the team down. the problem, like this, both of you guys, I guarantee every team knows this. That's why the NFL is so successful. They know exactly what to send out to their organizations to say, and they know what information to keep quiet. And the information that gets keep quiet does eventually leak out, but what does the NFL do? What does the commissioner come out and say? We'll investigate the issue.
Mm-hmm.
They have already investigated the damn issue. It finally leaked out. But what does the NFL have that these leagues and these teams don't have, like we were associated with? Money and lawyers. They got fucking lawyers out the yin-yang.
Yeah.
These teams, some of these teams and some of these leagues lower than the NAL and IFL and AF1 can't afford a bus trip 20 miles down the street.
Send them to the van.
So do you actually think they can afford a lawyer for $5,000 to investigate something because of some disinformation that ended up in ruining? No, they can't do that. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So that's why the NFL and the NHL is so successful. It's because they have the money backing, they have the TV deals, and they got lawyers that know their shit. So don't rip anything from them because they will come after you and end you.
Yeah. That's big money. Big time.
Literally, they will end you.
Yeah.
You will cease to exist. Then NHLBI will come up and like, come with me. Like, what the fuck?
Well, Jim, listen, we appreciate you coming on, and this has been an awesome show. We knew we were gonna go over. We're like, about an hour and a half. We're an hour and 21 minutes, which is awesome. But I appreciate you coming on, and I was really, like I said, hesitant at first because I was like, I don't want to insult the man. Like, I really want him to come on, but he's got so much going on, and
I'm a 40-year-old man with a fucking WWE belt. Insulting me?
That's badass. I want to beat you when I grow up.
Mine's over there somewhere. So I mean, but I just, like I said, I appreciate you taking the time out and hanging out with us and chatting it up and getting your story out there to everybody. And I appreciate everything that you've done for me, being in the arena game, because that is, if I could go back and tell 12-year-old me that, hey, you're working side by side with a league right now, like I would be floored. Like, absolutely just floored. But I appreciate you and the opportunities that you've given me to do that. And once again, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, first off, are you technically working for the league? Seeing that, do you need a title for that too? Seeing that you got a title this time?
He's already got 47 titles.
Well, Jeff's already got the slides made up. Jeff's already got the slides made up.
Yeah, we're good. Just tell him when to release them.
Well, it was funny.
He's got a file on his phone.
You gotta tell that story when he's like, "Yeah, okay." Tell him that story about your
So I text Jim and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, they updated my title," and he goes, "So what are you doing different from last year?" And I said, "Nothing." He goes, "That's what I thought. Same thing as you did last year. You just get a title."
Like it's basically like you got your learner's permit and now you got your driver's license. Like, I got a driver's license, and that changes what? Nothing. Okay.
You get to stay out till midnight now, Jeff.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I get to stay out till midnight.
You don't have a curfew no more.
Like I tell Steven Shatola, who does the NAL stuff, I was like, "Why is my name on the website?" He goes, "Do you really want it on there?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you sure?" I was like, thinking, nah. Because once you get on the website, become legit, it holds a more, you get more like a standing.
Yeah.
Then people will start searching for you, and then you get bombarded. I'm too busy getting spammed by Indian sportswear companies on social media right now. Like, we buy good quality jersey. You want one? Like, speak English first before you're talking. If you have a Facebook page and account that's knowing Jeff, he operates the Willing Facebook page. He knows all the messages from.
Yes. Oh my God.
We produce good quality shirt. What?
Good. Cool.
All right. Come out of the sweatshop.
I kind of want one of those shirts.
For $9.95, you get good quality.
But we
Just
charge you $25.95 for shipping.
Just wait, Jeff. Wait till you get the audio versions that they sending out now. It's hilarious as shit.
Oh my
Because it's
god!
AI generated. I had John Cena call me.
Cool.
Hey, I'm
How's
John
he
Cena.
doing?
Oh, really? Copyright infringement? Counts from
You
India.
can't see him anyway.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can't see him, so.
One by quality. Give me your credit card number. How about no?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Go fuck yourself.
Good news is, we get to continue this here in a couple, in a month actually, when you
let's
come in
go.
town for NAL game day. So everybody's got a say in one shape or form now. Obviously, I'm director of multimedia. Chris does play-by-play, and I do color. Sean's going to be cutting up videos for me, and Demuth will be John's spotter who's doing PA. So everybody's involved.
And John is
And the
seeing
only
the
thing
inside of his
you're
eyelids.
missing is the arena chief.
Yeah, and
The
we'll
man of
have
the
that.
show, the main eventer, the WrestleMania main eventer. No.
We aren't going to be missing them because you're going to be there. So what's
Yeah, you'll be there.
you're going to be there.
NAL game day.
Yeah, I need somebody else to throw in the freaking river. That'll be me this time.
Hey, no, we can all just chuck Jeff. We can
Mother-
all just chuck Jeff.
I can still do
Assholes.
play-by-play.
Or we can chuck
Also,
John.
I'm going in the river then.
We can chuck John.
Be like, Jim, how you think of this play? He fucking sucks. He read the wrong read. Like, what the hell? I'll get a text message from Commissioner Walkenhorst. Yeah, you're done.
I tell you what, that's somebody who does a hell of a job on commentary is Commissioner Walkenhorst.
Yes.
My goodness, he's the one that did the NAL championship, and oh my goodness, he is so good.
Go watch the NL Championship and go read the chat and go look for the name called J Well, J dash Well. That's me. I'm roasting Commissioner Walkenhorst throughout the live stream. I go mispronounce the name, and I told him eventually that was me, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't read the chat. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, and then Dukon did a hell of a job. I sent it to Sean. If you got a chance to watch that yet,
I watched
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of it, not all of it.
It's-
but yeah,
oh my
it's-
gosh.
the quality of it was
yeah,
And if you have a chance,
Oh,
go
nice.
check out his podcast around the NAL, little
Yeah.
15-minute episodes. He
It's
does very
hysterical.
good work. New episode comes out tomorrow for the Idaho preview for him. A lot of good quality coming through the Inside Walls, through the wire on Thursday. Inside Sharks Monday. Before you know it, like
back around the week again.
Bro, how can you even breathe? How can you even breathe?
I am now.
Yeah,
How about this? This keeps me insane because I'll lose my shit in my real life job.
yeah,
This
Sure.
is what
Feel it.
makes me look
I
forward
feel
to.
yeah. This is the outlet.
Man.
Yeah, this is
I
the
kill bugs.
You kill bugs.
Yeah, he's Orca man.
Work. Oh,
And a Titans fan.
Why
kinda goes
does
hand in
that? Why do those two go together?
think about it.
I was just reminding him. That's all.
Wait, you want to go ahead and tell him that I'm a Michigan fan too?
Yeah, he's a
that's
Michigan
their
man,
part
too.
Eh,
I
it's
have
all
nothing
good.
against Michigan.
And I'm an Astros fan. I like beating trash cans in the side.
Don't really care about the Astros either. What's your
You do some trash can beaters as well. I call 'em.
Go Browns.
Oh, well.
I'm just a depressing Jaguars / Florida State Seminole fan. My teams win a total this year of 6-16. 6-18. Excuse me, 6-18.
Hey, at least your Jacksonville's quarterback is nicknamed Sunshine. At least he doesn't put mayo in coffee.
True.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
And supports a mayo cologne as well.
Oh fuck!
What the fuck?
Did you not see that commercial?
You
Levis
wonder why
has a
you're
loan
the
out in
draft
his-
pick? That's the reason why.
Hey, everybody's
never
saying
go
Cam
full
Ward.
boil.
Everybody's
You
saying
went full
Cam Ward. I don't want Cam Ward. I say we trade back and get Carter from Penn State. That's all I'm saying.
You're going to get Shador.
I don't want him. He comes with too much baggage.
He's going to come with Dion probably.
But it's Louis, dude. Don't you worry.
And then your second and third round pick are going to disappear because he's going to demand Travis Hunter to go to the Titans too. Then your old draft capital is going to get screwed because Shador won't play without Travis Hunter. You're going to have an Eli situation happen. Watch.
Sell the farm like Dick did.
And Jacksonville will look at somebody and go, that's going to be the next superstar. We'll draft the other guy.
I feel it.
If you go back in this is one thing I hate about my Jags. Patrick Mahomes was available.
Mm-hmm.
He was literally the best available next. We drafted a kicker who never even played one single time in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The year that Lamar Jackson was drafted, we drafted Taven Bryant.
Who?
Exactly. Want me to continue? Also, National Football League. Give respect to Brian Thomas Jr. Like, the boy should be in the freaking Pro Bowl, and he's going to be left out because Zay Flowers plays with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Is Zay going to even play?
Zay's not playing tomorrow. He's not.
No, he's not playing tomorrow, but is he going to be able to play in the Pro Bowl?
Problem is, Brian Thomas is not an alternate. He's like fourth in line. So the third leading receiver in the AFC is like sixth in line.
Wow.
That's why when I saw that, I'm like, the NFL has become just a popularity con. It's like the NBA All-Star game. How long LeBron James is still in the NBA All-Star game, I don't know. He hasn't been LeBron in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
True. So
he can still dunk though.
Yeah, true that.
Ooh.
True that.
So he hasn't won shit in 5 years either.
So this is gonna be fun for me.
He needs to come back to Cleveland. That's why.
True. This is gonna be fun for me because Jim, you do this all the time. Jim, any final thoughts?
No.
On that note,
Any final
just shotgunned a beer.
All right, see y'all later. Have a nice night.
yeah, that's Jordan Skew. Doesn't
You're kind of cool. Screw you.
What was it like? That offensive lineman from the Jets going? Everybody in the fans in the crowd.
Oh
going,
yeah, he's pointing. Go
fuck
you.
you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Final thoughts. Follow everything associated with Boys from the Wheel podcast. Follow these guys on social media. Follow me if you want to see some outrageous takes of arena football and Inside the Walls podcast, Inside the Sharks, Through the Wire Thursday nights on the Willings Facebook page. #1 coaching show in the industry. I just went over numbers again. I went back a couple episodes. Yeah, we're kicking everyone's ass in all the leagues. So that's Through the Wire, #1 coaching show in the industry right now. If you're debating on going in some organization, want to know if you can go support this organization here in Willing, get your fucking tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Support these dudes. For the least, I will. Well, on the first game. I probably will. First game, we'll be working with all of you guys in some form of way.
Sure.
And Matt's going to be there, so you guys have to introduce Matt.
Absolutely.
But final words, follow everyone on social media. From what I've heard, Tiki Taki's going away, so we have to find a way to do some other social media there, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. We were
on
fire there for a little bit too.
Oh yeah. So
why don't you download their new app? ByteDance's new app called Lemonade.
That's still going to get banned because it's the same company.
It is. Yeah. I know. It's just the same fucking app. It's the same exact thing.
The same company. That company is getting banned. Not that. It's like all their assets, but dumb people won't do basic research. But follow everything from Boys of the Wheel, Inside the Walls podcast, Inside the Walls Network. Visit InsideTheWallsNet.com. Support your organizations. Get your tickets. Tickets are on sale now. Yeah, that's it.
A little different, huh? Being the interviewee instead of the interviewer.
I'm so happy I'm not clicking on any things here. I'm looking over. It's like, why am I not like? I'm trying to I'm trying to scroll through and put comments up, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not in control of this.
You didn't have to do any of that. We just sit back, relax, and enjoy, man. That's all you had to do today.
No, I'm just happy.
Hey, now to be fair, that's what I do 100% of the time. That's just what
I'm excited to be up there. I'm planning on flying in a couple of days early this time around, except for the night before. I'm planning on being up there on a Thursday this year and being there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and leave on Tuesday. So we might have to do Boys from the Wheel all together on a Friday night.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
So we can talk mad crap about
Damn.
other. Well, by then we'll know. That's March Madness is going to be starting.
Yeah.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lose a lot more money in that. I've lost so much money in the college football playoff. It's borderline.
And what do you know? There happens to be a sports book on Wheeling Island. Would you look at that?
I actually want to have money so I can come back home. I love Wheeling, but home is Jacksonville. I'll be able to go up.
It only takes one, man. It only takes one.
It only takes one.
Yeah. Do I put my mortgage on Montana State beating Duke, who is a 17.5-point underdog? Yeah, let me do that.
Hey,
And
the
Duke
return
won by
would be
20
great.
Yeah, return would be great. Well, Duke won by 40. Well, shit.
No, I can't go home. I gotta walk. Like,
I go to the airport and they go like, "Well, you're insufficient funds, sir. You can't leave." Well,
Yeah, I'm going to have to drive this bird scooter all the way to Jacksonville.
no, I'll just rent a car and DoorDash my way south to Jacksonville.
there you go. There you go.
Delivery. It's like, yeah, here's your Chinese, here's your this, here's your that. At least I get to visit a lot of sites and neighborhoods that I will never want to go to ever again. And if you DoorDash,
don't
you
go
know what
in-
the neighborhoods
don't
what
go-
I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't go through Atlanta Metro. Ooh.
No thanks.
I broke down Atlanta Metro going to an arena football game back in the day. Georgia Force, Jacksonville Sharks.
Oof.
Broke down on the side of the highway, right in
Nice.
downtown Atlanta. Fun.
College Football Hall of Fame's awesome down there, though, but that's about the only thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Still, there's a lot of shit that happens in Atlanta.
For sure.
Right now, they're panicking because it's snowing.
Like, you'd be panicking too if you would see what's outside right now.
You'd be looking at me like, "Oh fuck, they're gonna call me into work today," because it'd be like, "What's this substance coming out of the sky?" You get Al
That's
Capone
a-
background, like.
That's one of the funniest things.
Man, I thought Tony Montana was dead.
Nope.
My colleague at work basically said straight up, "It's like if it starts snowing, people here in Florida will actually think it's the other white stuff and try and start snoring and realize they'll get brain freezes because it's freaking snow."
That's great.
Damn, y'all fucked up down
Yeah,
there.
you
Florida thing, man.
Hey, you always see that crazy shit happening in Florida. All that crazy.
Dude, we have
shit.
dumbasses that'll be in Category 5 hurricanes with a freaking American flag and a beer, thinking everything's all fine and gravy until the motherfucker gets hit by a freaking trash can.
Hey, that's the American way. That's the American way.
Yeah, right.
One hell of a fucking way to go.
When people say, "Why are you leaving the state of Florida for Category 1 hurricane?" Motherfucker, we're just moving the party inside. That's all.
Hey, that's why they buy styrofoam furniture so it can go up and fucking down.
Yeah. And like I was telling Jeff this, and I was telling my buddies this at work. It's like it's like, well, why Southerners complain about freaking cold weather? It's like, well, when it gets below 30, it's cold for us. But keep that same energy when you guys are bitching when it's 120 up there. Go, why is it so hot up there? Ooh, why are you bitching now? Like, we're used to this shit.
It's a dry heat.
High heat, yeah. But yeah, we got you got blizzards, we got hurricanes. You know, only thing we can wish for is asteroid 2026, and we'll be fine. So just wipe out everything.
Hopefully that hits California.
It already is.
Yeah, I was
Very
gonna
well
say,
might have.
Yeah, for sure. Oh
I
my
need the
god.
Rams to win. Damn it! I need the
Yeah.
Rams to win
True.
because I bet
Road verse, baby.
I bet my colleague at work is a diehard Vikings fan. I said $40 you guys are going to lose. You get moved out of your venue because of the events that happen in LA, and you're going to go to Arizona and lose to Minnesota.
The Arizona
Rams are
Rams.
going to beat Minnesota.
Hmm.
So
Very interesting. But
it's because he won money on me this year because he predicted the Jaguars record before the season even started,
that's funny.
like on the tee. And he's like, "Pay up." I'm like, "Motherfucker!" Like, I was hoping to beat the freaking Colts, and like, come on, he won freaking win, so he's not accurate. He was right on that money. Like, son of a bitch.
Did I say an hour and 20 minutes? I meant an hour and 39
Yeah,
minutes.
that's all good.
Welcome to Through the Wire, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I feel like. We started late. We go longer. Like,
If everyone's watching, go look at the comments and pass through the wires. And you go to the very end of the comment section, you gotta be thinking like, They said the show is over 20 minutes ago, and we're now running on 2 hours. I'm like, well, it's Coach Rez. When he wants to talk, you let him go.
It's all right, boys. This is gonna be a 45-minute show. Okay, hour and 20 minutes in. We're like, shit.
Hey. Don't insult me in front of your friends.
Well, no.
I said that last night. It's going to be a 40-minute show. An hour and 10 minutes later.
There's a lot of animosity going on between you two right now.
All right, here we go. March 10th at about 5 o'clock, Hell in a Cell inside Willing Arena.
Yes.
Put it in the field of play. You're going to have the players practice on both sides. You're going to see me and Jeff in the Hell in a Cell match.
Belt for belt.
Are you gonna climb it?
Bro, it's going to be like semi-pro.
Bro.
It's going to be like semi-pro when Jack and Midge
going
fought
up
the
to
bear
the
in the
press
cage.
box. I ain't climbing no damn cage. What the hell?
It'd be great to see midget wrestling again.
I'm going to be Rikishi. I'm gonna stay on. Oh, actually, Rikishi was on top of the freaking cage and he threw.
Yeah, Taker threw him off on the thing. But oh my god, I digress.
Fine,
Anyway.
ladder match.
Yeah, so
It'd be
But-
easier for the crew to move the ladder than the whole freaking cage.
so for everybody that's
And the loser gets a football thrown at his nuts by Grant Russell.
I'm not taking that because he hit square right between both of them. He's splitting the defense there.
How you doing, Jeff? I'm doing great. You gotta go up there to do pregame. Okay.
I hate you. I really do.
I appreciate coming. This is rarity. And watch me get lists of interviews for other shows.
Hey, just know where you started at was here. This is where you started being a guest.
Technically, I started on Inside the Walls, but okay.
Yeah, but you still run that. You still this was the first hands off. You didn't have to touch anything.
Hey, y'all are like brothers fighting each other right
We
now.
are.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I feel like you're Ricky Bobby in this episode. I don't know what to do with my hands.
The object of this thing is get on this show, reverse it to make me the highlight, and steal the show and put on Inside the Walls Network.
That's what Bob said.
You're already stealing his graphics.
It's all a part of the plan. Well, he has all the access codes to Inside the Walls because he can hijack Inside the Walls if he wants to. Just do random shows. I'll be like, I see it. Okay.
I'll just repost shows, put up bad shows.
I was like, hey, I wasn't on the. We're already on episode 200, and it's just Jeff replaying 1 second clips. It's just yeah.
But seriously, thank you for real. Seriously, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. Like Jim mentioned, you can check him out on all the social medias. Multiple shows every single. We got a show almost every single day of the week, correct?
Got a show on tonight.
Were you on it?
No, I wasn't on it. No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, damn, you're Rick Rudin it.
It was Brandon Rewind. So.
Oh, okay.
There's shows on every night on the Inside the Walls Network, especially heading towards March. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Good stuff. But yeah, you can definitely check that out and then check Jim out. March 10th, he will be at West Bank Arena with all of us, which will be fantastic and a bunch of fun. But once again, this has been another great episode of Boys from the Wheel podcast. That's Jim. We're the boys. We'll catch you next time.